Alright, I hope this video will help you out as you get ready to write a Turabian style research paper using Microsoft Word. Now the first thing we're going to do to set up our paper is go to this little tab up here that says Page Layout, and we're going to set our margins. So we click on it, we click on Margins, we want to pick Normal where it gives us 1-inch margins all the way around. Now we have our margin set. Next we want to set up our spacing for paragraphs. So we'll go back to Home, click on Home, and we go to where it says Paragraph, and we click on that. Now we're going to want a double space. So we come over here and we select double space, but we also have to do one other thing which a lot of people forget to do. Before and after you can add additional space. We do not want to do that. So we want to remove the additional space to where it's set at 0 before and 0 after, double space. Now we click OK. The next thing we want to do is set our font. For this paper I want you to use just a standard font, New Times Roman or Times New Roman. So find Times New Roman, click on that. Then you're going to set the size at 12 and make sure you've got it on automatic black ink. We don't want any fancy fonts, we don't want any fancy colors, very standard paper. Now once you have all of that set, we're ready to begin writing our paper. Since this is a short research paper, we are not going to do a cover sheet like you normally would for a longer paper in Turabian style. We're simply going to put a heading on the top of your paper, and that's pretty much up to the discretion of your professor. So what I want you to do is start out and put your name, and then I just want you to tab across the top to the other side, and I want you to put this class, which will be History 1301, or if you're in my other class, History 1302, and then the professor's name. In this case, it's Glosson. Alright, so we've got that adjusted now to this side of the page. Now, we're going to put our title on the page. So, we're going to hit Enter 2 times just to give us a little extra space on this first page. And we're going to move up here where you can set the justification, and we're going to center the title. So we'll hit this one that puts it in the center, and then we'll type our title in all caps. Let's say this paper is going to be titled the Texas Revolution. Alright, simple title. Now we're going to hit Enter again 2 more times, and right there, that is the last time we're going to give extra space. For the rest of the paper, we will simply be double spacing everything from this point on. There'll be no extra space between paragraphs, or no subsections separating things, no extra subtitles, just one title, and double space throughout the rest of the paper. Now we want to put it back on left justification, so we come back up here and click on left justification. Now a few more things to remember as you're typing the paper. First of all, let me go ahead and magically type a large section of the paper. I've already cut and pasted a piece, so there, I've got a good bit typed. First of all, as you type, begin every paragraph by hitting Tab and indenting. Do not forget to indent. Secondly, between sentences, and this is something a lot of folks don't realize, you're not supposed to just hit period and then space one time. It's going to be 2 spaces before you start the next sentence. That gives a little bit of extra room between the end of a sentence and the beginning of a sentence, rather than just the 1 space between words. Do not forget to do that. Also be sure that you remember to use good punctuation, capitalization, spelling, grammar. Check all of those things. Alright, now that we've got the paper typed up, we need to add our footnotes. Now every time you discuss a particular topic, from a particular source, you're going to cite which source you got that information from. So let's say in the first paragraph here, I've been using information from one of my sources and I want to put a footnote at the end of that paragraph. Now, with Microsoft Word, it can set this up for you. Now, with Turabian style, you have a couple of options. You can do footnotes at the bottom of the page, or you can do what's called endnotes at the end of a chapter or at the end of a short paper. Now, since we're not going to have multiple chapters, I suggest let's just simply use the footnotes, because that can be done automatically on Microsoft Word, which I'm just about to show you. We are not going to do a bibliography page because this is a short 2 to 4 page paper. Now, other professors might have you do that, and certainly on a longer paper you would have a bibliography page. But for our purposes, if you just put good footnotes that give us the information, that's going to be enough. So, let's say we want to put a footnote at the end of the first paragraph. So what we're going to do is click up here on References, and over here there's a little button to push for Insert Footnote. Click that, and that automatically puts in your first footnote. It takes you to the bottom of the page where you can type in the source, and up here at the top it put our first number for a footnote in what's called superscript, where it's a smaller number and it's elevated to the top of the line. So we're going to go down here at the bottom of the page, and what this will do for us is it will automatically make enough room at the bottom of your paper to allow you to put in the footnotes, so you don't have to try to measure and adjust. It'll just do it automatically. So first of all, we're going to put in, let's say, an author's name, and then we're going to put in a title, oops, I guess I better give the author a first name. Okay, now we put in a title. Then we're going to put in our publisher, and we're going to put a date. Alright, now as you can see, first of all, you'll need to check the proper Turabian format for how you need to do everything. So I'm going to italicize my title here. Now, please go to the paper that I have posted for you where you can actually see examples of how to do a book, how to do a website, how to do an article, how to do a citation from a encyclopedia. And there's a number of examples that I give you on that sheet to show you exactly how to do your footnoting. And you do need to do it properly with the proper punctuation, the proper italics, the proper spacing. And if I don't have it quite right here, don't follow this example. Follow the examples I've given you. But just looking at this example, you can see that there's a couple of things that still need to be fixed. First of all, it's in the wrong size and it's the wrong font, and it does not automatically indent for you. So here's how you fix that. First of all, just come over here and click before the number 1 and hit Tab. Now you have it indented as the first line of a citation should be. And if you had more than one line, let's just say it goes on for another line or two because it's a long title or something like that, then this is, well, let me kind of change it a little. Okay, it would look something like this. If it's it would have the first line indented, the second line would come to the edge. Now we need to change the font for it, so we can just highlight it by left clicking and highlighting this, and then if you right click on it, it'll give you the option of changing your font back to Times New Roman, and it'll also give you the option of changing the size to 12. And of course, you see it, we also have a strange looking thing. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all those extra K's now that you know the how it should look like. But this is how it should look when you have, if it's a very short citation like this. Now, the next thing you want to do is put in your next footnote. So let's say we go along and after 2 or 3 sentences we come to a point where we've used another source. So we want to, at the end of this sentence, click Insert Footnote, and it will automatically put our 2 up there. And then down here it will give us a number 2. And so what we're going to do is type in the author's name, and then we're going to put the title and the publisher and the date. Whoops. Okay. Now, again, we'll want to hit Tab. We'll want to change the font. We'll want to change the size. And if it did not give me an extra space between these two, you'll want to go ahead and add that extra space, because you should have a space between each of your footnotes. But that's how you're going to add the footnotes. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea how to use Microsoft Word and make it work for you to do footnoting. Please consult my other paper that I've posted for you on how to do proper Turabian citation. You can also look at the other book by Turabian. If you have the 8th edition, that's the one we're using. And you can I think I'll have probably a link to another site online where you can consult that if you need further details on how to do an odd sort of citation. But if you're able to do at least this minimum citation that I've shown you right here, you'll be in pretty good shape. Good luck with your paper, and now get started with it.